Hello. Welcome back to Lombardi Sweep. Last week didn't happen. It's now the playoffs, and we are focusing on the Philadelphia Eagles. Got a full barn here. Trevor Land, Janet Wilson, Luke Reimer, and myself. Luke's got something to kick us off before we start talking about maybe something about last week, but mostly this playoffs matchup, though.
New Year's. I left my New Year's party at 11:50, and it was great. I was in the Uber for the ball drop. It was awesome.
Yay!
That's a power move. I like that.
I was getting bored.
What's
and
even
I'm like,
better is if you
I'm
do
just
like
going
an Irish goodbye, and everybody's
did.
like Happy New Year, and then they're like, where's Luke?
No, it was. I mean, it wasn't even that big of a party. There was a couple people there, and I got up, and everyone's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "My Uber's here," and I just left.
Good.
What's even better if you would have been like, you would have just jumped in the Uber and been like, follow that car.
And maybe the best Uber driver I've ever had. I get in the car, dude. What's up, Luke? And then he must have just like learned what Sirius radio is for the first time. And he's like, there's a channel where you can listen to Santana and Dr. Dre. What world are we living in? And I'm like, I know it, man. It was incredible.
He brought the energy.
Yeah, it was great. He was like shouting. He was so passionate about it. It was great.
Shout out his name, man.
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Oh, come on. It's like Charles Barkley in the steam room all over again.
Kurt, I think.
I think one of the best Uber experiences I've ever had is when I was going to go to the Cowboy game here in Texas. And when I got in the Uber, the lady turns around and she's like, go, Pat, go. She's all decked out. She was all decked out. And she was actually from Wisconsin. She's like, I hate it here. I hate Texas. She's like, I want to move back. They're so mean here. I'm like, yeah, they are. They are really mean. It's not the friendliest state. Sorry.
Nice.
Why Wisconsin's the best state in the Midwest.
Y'all are way nicer than people here in Texas. Way nicer. Well, I don't
We're
know
better
why.
people too.
Yeah, I don't know why they would say Texas is like the friendly state. It really isn't. People are mean here.
Who says that?
Well, that's what Tejas means in like the language. It's supposed to be like friendly state.
I think something was lost in translation.
Yeah.
They obviously didn't meet the people of 2025.
Right. How could they?
No, absolutely not. Okay, so this could be the last week we are talking about a Packers game, but we shall see. Last week, we talked about it, and we were a little, at least I was nervous, but we all picked, one thing to happen. The opposite happened. Doesn't really matter. The biggest takeaway is Christian Watson's done. So that's all we need to know from that game. Going into this game, and Jordan Love hit his funny bone.
Yep. I'll put my hand up and say I was wrong, but I don't think it was my fault.
I will say the same thing. I thought it wouldn't be possible to get outcoached by Thomas Brown, and somehow Matt LaFleur did that. I don't know how, but he did.
I think this is the first time the Packers lost in the show's history to the Bears.
For sure. It was an 11-game streak, I believe.
Yep.
It was Mitch Trubisky time, like 2018.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Some are surprised we didn't cancel the show.
So we have no words. We have no words, basically.
Unprecedented territory.
This is the day that I've always feared, given how much shit I've talked about the Bears on the show.
Me too.
And I never thought it would come.
But to be fair, Packers fans have been saying even worse stuff about our team, so they can say all they want. Honestly,
it did take a Bears loss to really get people really getting colorful. I would say get talking about.
Rightfully so.
A lot of people love the stat that Matt LaFleur is a blocked field goal away from going winless in the division. From going in 1 week, it's why isn't Matt LaFleur in the Coach of the Year talks? To when you start thinking about if he's the guy, and I love that.
I get it, but you can't lose to the Bears, man.
No.
I said it when we traded Devontae, and I'm going to say it right now. I said you'd never win a Super Bowl with Gutekunst. You're never going to win a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur. I will go on record saying that right now. I mean, that was known before, but, I just want to say it again.
AFAM says Watson may need a fourth opinion on his hammies or maybe some stem cells. I think that's very possible. Very true. Yeah, apparently getting his other leg as strong as the other one didn't prevent an ACL tear. Sounds like that is what that is. And he is done for the season non-contact. So, Packers did roll out their starters. That's the sad thing. Packers tried to win that game.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's not. Not only did that game not really matter at all, but we tried to win and didn't do it. So,
and a bunch of people got hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and in the process, your receiver and quarterback go down.
And
while the team we're gonna play is resting people.
Yeah.
And you know what the worst part about that whole game was? Christian Watson's family had to open their fucking mouths on Twitter again. Worst part of it.
I didn't see it. I may have them muted, which is probably
I think I've been blocked.
Decisions I've done.
I think
Christian Watson's good. There's a chance Christian Watson's played his last game as a Packer.
Right.
Oh, for sure. He should. Why are you bringing him back?
Like he's not going to start next year. Like he's still going to be in rehab and stuff. If there's any indication of, the past of Christian Watson, it's going to take him a little bit longer to get ready. Someone named Mike Reimer here. Packers had no great wins this season.
What up, Dad?
100%. They definitely benefited from an easy schedule. Every good NFC team they lost to.
Yeah, I don't want this to be like a dump on Christian Watson show, but I brought it up like his very first play as a pro when he dropped that pass and how different the season could have been. How different his career could Christian Watson have if he would have caught that pass?
Certainly would have had different perception. I mean, I don't know, because people still think he's the wide receiver one for the Packers. So I don't know. That season would have gone differently, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Christian Watson's a very talented player. However, he is not a good football player, like IQ wise, but then he also just doesn't have much, no grit. Knowing some of the coaches on that staff, this has kind of always been the thing as well. He also doesn't really like the cold, so that's sort of an issue playing in Green Bay, some would say. Don't love it. Don't love it. AFAM really likes your camera view, Luke, by the way.
Close hair, Luke.
I don't have any nose hairs.
But yeah, lost to the Bears. It's the worst thing just because they have all off season to talk shit now, but let's just try to remember they are the Bears.
Yeah.
They don't have a head coach. And the only thing we know about this head coaching search is that they're going to make the wrong decision. So keep that in mind the entire time. Bears are screwed. They stink. They're bad. Next year, they will fire their GM and we'll do this whole thing over again. So just remember that.
2 years from now, they'll have a new quarterback, and 3 years from now, they'll have a new head coach. Yeah.
I understand you want a big coaching search, but some of these people they are interviewing are something.
I mean, if they hire Ben Johnson, I'm pretty confident Ben Johnson's going to be bad.
What's Brett Bielema doing?
I mean, that's not the worst choice. Why wouldn't they interview Lovey? Get Lovey out of retirement.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I still want him as DC.
Same. Yeah, DC is getting a lot of shots, rightfully so, after this past game as well. LaFleur said it falls on him, and it certainly does. The alignment on, obviously, the Bears, giving the Bears 40-ish yards in the middle of the field is not the best strategy, but is what it is. That's usually a field goal the Bears miss, though, to be completely fair to the Packers. I fully thought he was. And then he had that stupid soccer celebration, so.
Man of culture.
No.
But also, you can't be celebrating like that when you're also the reason you've lost the first game.
It wasn't him. The Packers cheated. Let's be honest.
Cheating.
They did. That. I don't give a fuck about what anyone has to say. That shouldn't have been allowed as a block. That was a flag. But, they don't call it. Nothing's against the law if you don't get caught. So
you let the boys play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy about it, but I see the Bears' point. That's what I would say. Okay. Oh yeah, the punt return for the touchdown. That's the thing. That's the first thing I think I said on Twitter is this is not the week for the Packers special teams to become an issue now. We don't need this all year. We've been good. We've been pretty good all year. And then now the special teams is going to start shitting the bed. Defense certainly shit the bed. And now we roll into a matchup against Philadelphia. Started the year with Philadelphia, going to end the year probably with Philadelphia. And the defense needs to show up, and the special teams for sure cannot be a detriment to this team because we need to be perfect to beat the Eagles. Have to.
It's a fun punt return. I remember when the Rams first pulled that out like 10 years ago, and then Pete Carroll like instantly stole it. And now the Bears bring it back with Johnny Knox, and then now this. It was great.
Shout out Johnny Knox. Hope he's alive and well. Probably not. Debatable.
He's like DeMar Hamlin before DeMar Hamlin.
True. That was tough. Tough to watch. And then they had another situation with Zach Miller not that long after that.
Yeah.
They had a weird string of bad injuries there for a sec. McManus has been solid, fam. That's why I'm nervous that all of a sudden we've been so good, and then all of a sudden we let up a punt return. Then there's another special teams play that was bad too. Can't remember off the top of my head, but
it was the snap over Whelan's head.
Yes. And Whelan still bailed him out. Whelan needs to be the priority free agent signing. He has to be. Yep. McManus number 2. Those are the two biggest signings we need to have. Caleb looked like Kyle Orton wearing number 18. I disagree. Kyle Orton was a decent quarterback. Caleb Williams did not look good against the Packers. I think
Kyle Orton sells pot now.
I think he sold pot while in the league.
Yeah.
He started with Denver, got all of his tools there, and then he shipped out to Chicago. Central hub for drug distribution. Okay, so Packers are 4.5-point underdogs. It started at 3.5, moved to 4.5 today after Jalen Hurts has practiced. 45.5-point over-under. Injury report for the Packers. As we said, Christian Watson torn ACL is what is suspected for sure going to be out regardless, though. Zane Anderson has continued to be out. He's a safety for those who don't know. Not a big deal. Slayton, though, DJ Slayton is not practicing today due to an ankle injury. Obviously a big loss because he's been pretty good, and regardless, you need all the bodies in the middle if you're going to be playing against Saquon Barkley. So that everybody else is practicing. Obviously, Jair's put an IR, so he's out. But like Bullard, Cooper, Quay, all limited participants, so that's good to go. Jordan Love, elbow, limited participant, he's good to go. Eagles, only one player didn't practice. It's guard Trevor Keegan, and that's just because he is sick. Everybody else practiced. Notably, Jalen Hurts returned to practice today. I don't know if he's technically out of concussion protocol, but this just means he's in the final, the home stretch to get out. All indications are that he plays Sunday. If not, Kenny Pickett also practiced today with a rib injury. He should be fine. But certainly the Packers would love to have Jalen Hurts not play this game. Not looking like it. Shout out to Zach Bond, though, I should say.
Dog.
He is a legitimate defensive player of the year candidate. He has been insane this year.
Dog.
Insane. Anybody, I mean, there really isn't much to talk about in terms of the injury report. I was going to say anybody worry you or any standouts, but there really isn't, right?
I mean, no, you kind of hit you kind of hit on it with TJ Slayton. Like, you just need big bodies in the middle.
Yeah. That's the issue.
About Zach Bond, can we start fucking drafting stud Wisconsin defensive players? Jesus Christ, guys. Like,
I mean,
Van Ginkel, Bond, TJ Watt, TJ Edwards. Fuck.
Let's get Chris Borland. He's fine.
Yeah.
Bring him back. He had a good month and then decided to hang it up.
I'll say, and I'm like 100% confident that Jordan Love's going to play. If Jordan Love doesn't play with his elbow injury, after his first year paying him $55 million, it's a really bad look, man.
It is. However, that point total, the spread, moves to 3.5 because Malik Willis gives us a better shot. Protect the ball, run the ball, gives us an extra blocker. Don't throw it up into stupid triple coverage. It would be okay if Jordan Love doesn't play, but yeah, he's gonna play. He's fine. He could have come back last week.
He said he would have.
Yeah. Not a big deal, but yeah, the Eagles basically rested a lot of their players last week. Saquon notably could have gone for the rushing record, decided to sit. So Eagles are, at least a lot of their star players are rested. Their offensive line is arguably, and maybe not even arguably, the best in football. They've been insane. Defensively, they may have the best defense in football. They have the exciting whites in their secondary. Bunch of white guys out there just flying around. That's awesome.
Entertainment crackers.
Exactly. Yes. I'm not feeling great. Does anyone have something positive to say? I'm not feeling good.
Look, I love my team. I love them, and I'm always gonna think they're gonna win. But that's just I'm delusional. Look at Pumbaa. He's trying to fight me. He's like, what are you trying to say? No, I love, like I said, I love my team, and I'm always gonna think very highly of them. But we got a reality check. I'm not feeling good about it, but I'm going in there supporting my team.
I'll say something positive. Who would have thought? Like it's hard to beat any team twice, much less 3 times. And like the Packers got embarrassed, and now it's just like the Dallas game in the sense that nobody believes in this team. Like outside of Packers fans, like I feel like a lot of people are giving up or not taking this team seriously, and a team that was pissed off right before the playoffs and is coming in angry and has no expectations. That's a dangerous team. Is anything going to happen? No. Is this a lot different than the Dallas game? Yeah, but it's still something for them.
I just took a look at the weather just because obviously Philadelphia never know. Looks like it's going to be mid-30s, going to drop off to about 30. Pretty much no wind is what they're calling for. So that's interesting. Because if there was more weather, and it still could show itself as well, Jake Elliott's had a couple of those games this year where he's just shit the bed. So truthfully, if one of these teams, special teams, loses the game, they will lose the game. I think. Both of these, if it comes down to kicking, I think I trust McManus more. That gives the Packers an edge there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's in Philly. Those fans, if they start losing or they get behind early, I mean, they're going to be supporting them. They're not going to leave like Bears fans, but those fans are mean.
Yeah.
That's true. The only issue is like the Philly crowd, for their players are numb to the booze at this point. That's not the issue. It's the making the noise on third down and making sure, because if they made a lot of noise, then their edge rushers get the step on the defense and on the offensive tackles, yada yada yada. Packers edge rushers aren't going to have any first step. Like we've seen Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson's the biggest dickhole in the fucking league in the best way possible. When everyone was getting called for a flag for being too far back off the ball, I'm not sure if you guys caught this or saw this at all. He lined up directly with the center, which is something no offensive tackle ever does. And he's saying, like, try to get a first step on me. He destroyed absolutely everybody this entire year. Lane Johnson continues to be the best offensive tackle in the league. So we're seeing Rashawn Gary's going against Lane Johnson. It's not going to work. Like, it's not going to be good. So now you got Enigbare and Van Ness going against Mailata and stuff like that on the other side. That's not going to work. Landon Dickerson's in the middle. He's a dog. Becton's going to have to plow through Kenny Clark, which is happening every single down this year, essentially. I don't know. Geno's or pass? Has anyone been to Philly and had a cheesesteak? I've been to Philly. I didn't get one.
Nope.
What?
Sorry.
Isn't one of these very... AFAM, if you know, isn't one of these like the very big tourism spot, one like the good one? If not, maybe both of them. Maybe both of them are tourist spots. I don't know. But yeah, if it's gonna be a battle in the trenches, like I'm nervous, man. Like the Eagles have the advantage in both spots.
Yeah, people continue to bring up the point that like the Packers are the youngest team. They're the second youngest team in the playoffs, one behind the Packers last year. It's great and all if the team stays together for 10 years. But when you get into a situation where Javon Bullard has to cover Jordan Addison and just get cooked every single play, like what is Devontae Smith going to do to him?
Youth is great. I would love to be the youngest and best team in the league.
Yeah.
Like being young doesn't get us extra bonus points.
Right. I know.
It does make us sound really immature too.
Yeah,
Youngest team, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. If we keep the exact same team in 6 years, we're going to be the oldest team in the league and still not very good. It doesn't matter. Like it is what it is. Keys to the game I kind of already gave one, I suppose. Or a couple. Trevor, do you have any specific keys to this game?
Boy, I'll give it to coaching. Don't get in the fucking way and don't panic. Right?
Yeah.
LaFleur panics all the time. He's got a game plan. They know what they need to do. Don't panic. No stupid challenges. Learn how to manage a clock. I don't know how the fuck you're caught off guard in a meaningless Week 17 game, but that's beside the point. LaFleur, we talk about the team needing to be perfect. LaFleur has to be perfect. Because if he's not perfect, even if the Packers play perfect, I still don't think they win.
Janet, how about you?
Start quick, fast, and in a hurry, because I don't know, it took them forever to catch speed with that Bears game, and then that's why I feel like they were, down the entire game. So it wasn't until Malik Willis jumped in that he started picking up the points. So I say, like, if you're gonna go in there swinging. While we're in the playoffs, we are also third place in our division. So technically, we have nothing to lose. Just go in there and start. Yeah, just go in there swinging. And it's the dirty birds. Play dirty, play rough. Let's go. Enough of this. Everybody getting injured.
Yeah. To Janet's point, what do you have to lose in this game, right? Nobody's picking Green Bay to win in this. You're not going to stop Saquon Barkley, contain him, whatever you can do. I think that this is a game where, I think Packers can at least, maybe be down by a score for most of the game, whether it be, like 7-0 to 14-7 to 21-14, somewhere in there. I think the offense can score enough to just hang along, but I don't think that they have enough offensive firepower to carry it in. I definitely don't think Philadelphia absolutely destroys Green Bay in this game because Green Bay's defense isn't horrible. Like the secondary is not great. It's all about the pass rush, right? To your point, Zach. We kind of need like vintage Rashawn Gary, and I mean not even vintage. We need incredible Rashawn Gary. We just if it has to be cycle in Lyman, you got to keep everyone healthy, everyone fresh, and you got to keep everyone going. If the Eagles can pass in this game's going to be over. But yeah, I think the Packers are just outmanned in this.
They probably are. To Jan's point, we kind of just have to start out aggressive and we have to start out fast. If the Eagles get up, I mean, they're just gonna run it with Saquon Barkley, right?
Right.
Like if they have the ability to run it, do play act, like if they have the full playbook at their disposal, it's gonna be tough to play them. If we force them into being a drop back passing team, we stop the run and we have a lead, stuff like that. Then all of a sudden we can beat the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. He's not a great passer of the football.
Right.
So if we can make him be an actual pocket passer, that helps. But we have to start fast. We have to start aggressive. Two things that the Packers don't really do. We always say, hey, we're going to take the ball, and then we just don't score. So then we don't score right away, and we don't get the ball after the half. That puts us at a deficit both times. And Eagles fans hate Sirianni, and the biggest reason for that is he keeps leaving points off the board. Like he just decides not to kick the field goal, and then they don't get the fourth down, stuff like that. It's also Kellen Moore is their offensive coordinator. He's the biggest doofus of all time.
Yeah.
So there's a real chance the Eagles move the ball up and down the Packers, and then they go for it on fourth down, don't convert. Packers need to be aggressive right away. We have to go for touchdowns, and if we're the ones who convert those, and we can get off the field and force fourth downs, make the Eagles go for it and stop them, all of a sudden, that's how we steal a win. We're not going to outplay the Eagles.
Correct.
Like we just have to steal a win that way. We have to be aggressive. We can't come in passive. We can't try to outsmart them. We're not going to out scheme them. Vic Fangio's probably the best defensive mind in football. Like We just got to be aggressive and hope the Eagles are playing on their heels a little bit. That's it. AFAM's kind of going off in the chat here. You have
I
a
like how he talks about himself in
mustache, by
third
the way.
person.
Have to. If you're AFAM, that's how you talk about AFAM. From Kansas City, not from Philly. LaFleur takes Botox, probably true. Jet sweeps are getting ridiculous, very true. If we're gonna be, they're just not schemed well. And then we also have tackles that aren't especially long, so then they have to out speed the edge guy, and then the edge guy is just longer and stronger, and then they can hold the edge, and then it just doesn't work. So you kind of have to know that. He hit his funny bone almost every morning on his nightstand. Still get after it. That's a dog. You're a dog. Holy shit! Didn't realize that. And I bet LaFleur thinks about jet sweeps when he climax. Probably, man.
Good grief.
I mean, you're not. I haven't heard a lie.
Who doesn't?
Not me. I hate jet sweeps. Stoof comes in at the very end. What are you
Where
doing,
the fuck were you in our last podcast, Stoof, huh?
Yeah, we had a lot of dead time last podcast. You weren't even here. Where were you? Why aren't you on Twitch anymore, Stoof? Luke and I were playing Madden last night. You weren't even there. You missed me almost throw a game. Didn't do it, though. Didn't do it. We
Is that video going to be posted on YouTube?
Maybe. It's if you go under clips on Twitch, you can find it. Nice little touchdown. Then about crossing the goal line, I threw it about 20 yards directly straight into the air. But Luke was right there. Luke had my back. Yep. That's a good teammate. Great teammate.
That's his quarterback.
He was my quarterback on that play. That's true. Jane Reed has the most lateral yards in the league. Bingo. It's hard to do. That's how you win football games. Okay, so again, Packers 4.5 point underdogs. Over under is 45.5. I assume. Do we have anything else to say before we give our picks? Okay, I'll start. No. I'll say Eagles win. I'll go Eagles win 27-20.
Yeah. Go ahead, Trevor.
Everyone say the score at once. That's fine.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
24-20. Oh, no one else did. All right. I decided that for the NFL playoffs, I'm going to stop thinking that I'm smarter than sports books and just taking the exact line and the exact right on the over-under. So 24-20 Philadelphia.
Fair enough. Janet, how about you?
Oh, go ahead.
Trevor, you go last.
You've had 2 chances now.
That's true.
I love my team. Ooh. I'm gonna stick by my team, but I'm not gonna give them that many points. So I think it's gonna be extremely close if the Packers do win, which I'm praying, hoping, wishing. 21, and we're just gonna mix it up. Pumba, stop drinking water right now.
That's a weird score.
21-19. I don't know. I'm just going to throw in a random number there. 21-19 Packers.
I'm happy Pumbaa's getting hydrated.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yeah, but I just hate the licking sound.
I'm pretty sure that's pet endangerment if you don't let them drink water, but beside the point. I have no reason to pick this other than the fact that there's always one what the fuck wild card game every year. And so I'll pick this one. Somehow the star of the line, 23-21 Packers.
Oh.
You weren't expecting that one, were you, Luke?
No.
We've seen the Eagles shit the bed. We've seen the Packers upset the team as a 7 seed. So it's possible. It's possible. I don't want to live in the world that the game isn't won in the trenches, though. You know what I mean? Like, that'd go against everything that I stand for. AFAM wants a jet sweep pass. Do you think LaFleur could throw that out?
Maybe that's what he's been setting up all year.
I mean, it would be a slow burn if that's what he was planning for. I would almost respect it. Stoof does think we can win this game, and you know what? Maybe that's the confidence I need. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Any other New Year's or Uber stories before we get out of here? I took an Uber in Slovakia, and I thought I was going to die.
Oh, that's how
Russian guy picked me up. To be honest, he's probably Slovakian. But picked me up and just didn't say a fucking word, didn't look me in my eye, and was talking in Again, a different language, probably Slovakian. On the phone the entire way. We got stopped by the police. There was a lot of shit that was going. It was.
I didn't know they had police over there.
Oh yeah, and they don't play any fucking games.
No, I can imagine. You probably almost got like sent to Siberia.
Felt like it. I got in trouble immediately in Slovakia. Like
You're
fucking
just sitting
hour
there.
1 in Slovakia.
You're just
Like,
sitting there. What are you doing here?
I got a ticket in Slovakia hour 1. Like I got written up. It was
Wait, how are you supposed to pay that?
I had to pay it by credit card to the person immediately.
Uh-huh.
I was not happy.
They just said give
They
me
pulled
your
me
card.
off public transportation to give me a ticket.
In front of
For
everyone?
what?
In front of fucking everybody. So you have to get a ticket to ride the public transportation, at one of the stations or whatever. Then you get on it. And then apparently once you get on it, like you have to stamp it as well. You have to do like a bunch of different things. No one told us. Didn't know that. Had the ticket, had the timestamp. But when I got the ticket, this police officer guy gets on the public tram, walks straight up to us. We still have our luggage because we just got off the fucking flight, and then walks straight up to us. Are you tourists?
No.
I said, well, how'd you guess? Probably not great. And then he made us get off and then gave us, it was like €100 ticket immediately.
That's what is that, like 14 cents?
No. Euros are more than $1. That's like $150.
Yeah.
Yes. Immediately. And then it was 95 to 98 degrees, hot as balls. And then we couldn't get the right public transportation to get back because this entire time we were going the wrong direction away from our Airbnb anyways. So I'm already pissed off anyways. Starting stages of COVID turns out as well.
Ew.
It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare.
You know what that?
So it was fine.
You know what that sounds like, Zach? That sounds like racial profiling. Shame on you, Slovakia.
Dude,
actually,
that
that
motherfucker spelled my name Z-A-K too. What a douchebag.
It's actually
Loser.
they do hate Americans. When I went to Italy,
who doesn't?
When I went to Italy, we spoke Spanish the entire time because if we knew we switched it up to English, like they would hate us. So the whole time, like if they would ask us where we're from, we'd just say we're Mexican. That's it.
Yeah,
we didn't want to say we were American because then they were assholes.
Austrians liked Americans. Austrians were cool. Slovakians fucking hated us.
I didn't have that in an Uber story, but we're coming back from a soccer match in Manchester, and everybody's going to public transport, and we couldn't call an Uber, and so some guy just pulled up and asked if we needed a ride, and we paid beforehand, which is great, and everything was cool. And I'm like, wait a second, we just got in a random guy's car and just paid him, and he was nice. But then, like, at stoplights, he'd look over to the driver next to him and, like, smile and, like, nod. And I'm like, are we getting taken to, like, a safe house or, like, about to get abducted? So I kept saying, like, oh, man, I think we're going to beat, like, our parents back, like, trying to, sow some doubt into that, we got numbers here. And he just dropped us off. Perfectly fine dude. But he was just nodding, and he was in cahoots with some drivers next to him. And it was a very off-putting experience.
A few of those over there. It was something.
He also said he was from Italy, but he was definitely from India. Ain't no fucking way.
I feel like you could tell the difference.
It was very obvious.
Soup got banned on Twitch. Attaboy.
That's probably for saying that I ran like Americans, surprisingly.
Yeah, we'll work our way through them. Were we picking up a Slovakian mail order bride? No, there for a wedding, but there's a few people there where it's like I see why they come to America and how this whole thing happens as like mail order brides. You can pick them out. There's a few people over there. How many NFL housewives are Slavic mail order? Probably a lot. There should be
what do you think?
Yeah, there should be a reality show about it maybe. Good pastries, bingo, sure do. They are best croissant I've ever had in my life was 90 cents. Stupid. I say Americano. I don't know what's going on. Iran's like Americans, surprisingly. I feel like that's not true.
Is that true?
That can't be true.
I feel like they told you that to lure you in. There's no way.
Yeah, be careful, Stoof.
Say you're Canadian.
You do say you're
no one likes America. Why would anybody like America? We're the
I don't.
best.
I don't like Americans.
Like you don't like the people who are the best. You don't like the Chiefs right now.
Right.
Americans are the fucking best across the board. We have the best soccer now. We have the best football, best sports. We're the most attractive. We're the richest.
Are we the most attractive? I thought that was Sweden. That's for sure got to be Sweden.
Why is everyone marrying Americans?
Right.
You know what?
I don't think it's based on looks, man.
Hey, every wedding that I've ever been to has been American, so
bingo. Even when I went over there was an American in the wedding. Tell me how. That's a great point.
Who got me there? I think that's it.
We'll go out on that. So we will be back next week to talk about whatever happens. Could be good, could be bad. If it's the end of the season, we'll give out our end of season awards. And if we win, Janet's going to come with the best tooth fact of all time.
Yes.
It's going to be an absolute banger. So you need to show up regardless.
If the Packers win a Super Bowl, we will buy Luka Slovakian mail order bride.
I'll look into it. That's a tax write-off if we record it.
Wow. Okay.
Never thought you could tax write off a person, but hey, here we are.
True. And Borat does love Americans. Very true.
I watched it again recently. Borat 2, surprisingly really funny.
Borat 2 was?
Yeah.
I've never seen the second one.
Very, very funny.
Okay. Got a little home.